Um, Give me a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I am trying to fix why we have no music. Once again, what the actual heck, my dudes? I mean, I could just sing along and annoy you with my voice, my horrible singing skills. Yeah, I have no clue why it's working, but whatever, you know. That's cool, I guess. Enjoy the 2 minutes of silence while I work behind the scene. Well, silence to my voice, but not the music. Anyway, man, Joshua Worley is right. Who is this rookie streamer? Okay, without further ado, I am like far behind, so you know, yeah. Enjoy the stream, guys. You know. that are just not working. I'm so curious about. Yo! Let me see if I can just turn this down a tad bit. A lot of it. Oh my, this is... Huh. Without further ado, yo, what is up? Even though you're already here. This is the 5FIRacing.com channel here on Twitch. Still a rough intro. Got back late. This is our beautiful website. That's 5FIRacing.com. Once you put that in the URL, it'll take you here. Join Discord. You're probably watching live on Twitch. If not, you're on YouTube. Hello. Check us out on Instagram and Reddit. Let's go on SimGrid, the very first one. We're on Season 8 of the Founders League. We'll click on that. From here, we'll check out the rules before we go into the standings real quick. We got the LFM BOP, just like last season, in place. Race drops exactly the same. You can have 2 dropped races, so the best of 7 will be taken into account. If you race all 9, it's still best of 7. Yellow flags, obey all yellow flags. Don't be dumb, you know, don't pass under a yellow flag or a red flag or whatever. Blue flags, go ahead, pass, do all you want. Penalty continuation, so you know, do not disconnect. Well, actually, you can disconnect. I don't care. Well, I kind of do. Stay. But regardless, if you have a penalty and you decide I am done racing, you just go into the pits and just quit, don't even serve or do anything. Well, bad news for you, you're gonna serve it next race, so you know, take care of it, then DC. You know, then it's okay. I mean, we don't want you to DC, but you know, it happens. Stuff happens. Code of conduct, be nice, play nice, you know, be respectful. You can banter all you'd like, you know, just keep it respectable, you know. General. I mean, I don't even know what to say with that, you know. No slurs, I guess, is what we're trying to say here. We do not like those. Incident reporting, report your own incident. Let's go, standings. In P1 for the goal split, we have Chandler Williams with 44 points. Ross O'Connor. Sorry, let me momentarily go into the silvers bracket real quick. Okay. I'll explain later. Chandler Williams is in P1 with 44 points. Ross O'Connor is in P2 with 34.5 points. Albert Tranchisi, our 3-time series champion, is in 3rd place, tied with Ross O'Connor with 34.5 points. This is gonna be exciting in Misano tonight. Joshua Worley, P4. 28.5 points. Zach Manriquez in P5 with 27.5 points. Gelson Cruz, P6, 26.5 points. Albert Yena, P7, 25.5 points. And Jonathan Kelly, P8 with 20 points. This, I actually like this. The gold bracket is, at least for now, starting off fairly close. So I don't, well, Thiago Dinarte here is in P1 with 47 points. He was the winner of last race, spoiler alert. To be honest, I don't know if he should be in the silver, but you know, we're gonna roll with it. Ryan Barkins in P2 with 36.5 points. Pierce Hanley P3, 29 points. Christopher Greider P4, 29 points. Michael Campbell P5, 27 points. How long is this? It's a very long. Oh, I forgot to mention. Hold on, we're gonna go back. Jonathan Kelly is our silver champion for last season. He got moved to the gold, so I don't know if I guess he's he's racing, so I guess we can put him in as the defending silver. But in reality, there is going to be a new silver champion this series or this season, so quite excited for that. Continuing on, I think I left off with Michael Campbell. He's in P5, 27 points. Jeff Kelly is in P6, 23.5 points. Dixon Hurst, P7, 21.5 points. Kyle Busch, P8, 21.5 points. Also tied for P7, Dixon Hurst. Brad Tarno is in P9, 16 points. Douglas Furnish tied with Brad Tarno. He's in P10, 16 points as well. We'll continue the list with only 4 left. Jacob Meyer is in P11, 14 points. Or Myri. I'm so used to saying Meyer now. I'm sorry. Rainer Kai, P12, 10.5 points. Lucan Breedlove. Love. 13th place, 10 points. Miguel Cesarion. I'm pretty sure I said that right. 14 position, 3.5 points. Let's get into the race recaps because it's quite juicy and I do not want to miss a quali. Give me un momento and I will switch over. So race 1, we had a good-ish clean start. I'm still gonna be struggling with matching cars to drivers, so please forgive me. Because I forgot who this was, I'm gonna be honest. But he got punted, well, he got bumped just a little bit by Cruz, unfortunately. And he ended up just not continuing the race, unfortunately, because of that one incident, but I mean, it happens. For the rest of the race, though, besides that, it was fairly clean. We had a couple passes just like right here, a little bit of a touch. I believe that is Brad Tarno and a name that I'm blanking out on. Ryan Barkins, is that you? Don't think so. Dixon Hurst, maybe. Lucan Breedlove, oh, that was you. Well, in lap 3, we had a contact between Breedlove and not Jonathan Kelly. I don't know why it says the overtake is up over there. Actually, this might not be Breedlove, but this is a POV from Myri. Look how close he was to ending careers. And also, there's a couple of glitches here and there. The recording software for this race wasn't the absolute greatest, so it worked. You spot them. Bonus points to you. Lap 3, we had Albert Tranchisi and Thiago Denarde battling it out. There were a bunch of errors, I'm gonna be honest, throughout the whole recording software, so I hope I captured everything correctly, at least, you know. Nonetheless, Albert hits those bumps aggressively. He did not kill himself, thank God, but that allows Denarte to get that spot, to get P1. Continuing on, the very next corner, we had Chandler Williams cut up on the inside on Albert Tranchisi. Tranchisi losing 2 spots in 3 corners, so not looking good for him, but he's still in the fight. Losing a little bit of traction there, but you know, nothing he can't handle. It's quite exciting. He's being pressured by Ross O'Connor, who in lap 5 was putting enough pressure to allow Albert to hit the inside once again of that corner and go a little bit wide. Ross O'Connor completing that overtake very nicely. Lap 6, we had a Jeff Kelly and a Rainer Kai battling it out. Jeff Kelly trying to go on the outside and makes the overtake happen, and eventually looks like he was gonna secure the position, but gets a little bit of a touch with Rainer Kai and loses it out on that. We're just gonna ignore what's going on back there momentarily and continue with Jeff Kelly here. And he almost does a risky maneuver there. Almost runs into the back of Rainer Kai. We're gonna go back and check out this instant replay from his POV. How close was he? Here he goes, hard on the brakes, late on the brakes. Oh my, that had to be a Code Brown moment, if I ever seen one. Almost lost it. Almost ended 2 careers there, himself and Rainer Kai's. Nonetheless, that was a good attempt to try to get close and do an overtake here. So we're going back. We had Jonathan Kelly get bumped and essentially get pit maneuvered here. And he eventually joins the track safely, which is what we love to see. Unfortunate that he got into that shenanigans. Continuing on, we had Jeff Kelly still battling it out with Rainer Kai here. Kelly trying to best him on the inside, getting all the draft, all the slipstream coming into the next corner. Will he make moves? Well, the answer is yes. Well, at least he tries. He tries to go on the inside, but eventually the defense on Rainer Kai was really, really good. Behind them, though, if you were paying close enough attention, you had Brad Tarno get very squirrely and hits the wall, unfortunately. Luckily, it was right next to the pit, so he just dashed in there. Lap 7, we had Jacob Myrie here have a little bit of a mistake, an oversteer issue. This is where the glitches come in, as you'll see here. We just get transported or teleported to Jonathan Kelly for whatever reason. But what is going on here? Where are all these backs coming from? Well, if you're joining us here, there is also something that I would like to mention. We're partnering with Trackalicious here. And Spooky Suzuki. A livery contest is going on here. So if you'd like to participate in this, please register. The race is going to be at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, so Wednesday, October 30th. It's going to be a qualification 10 minutes before the race. 1 45-minute race. There's no mandatory pit stops, but I mean, if you want, you can. That's all totally up to you. Livery contest. Upload your livery, include Trackalicious in it, 5FI racing, or not. I mean, it's all totally up to you. Make it spooky, make it funny. That's totally up to you. You can read all the rules there once you check out the Spooky Suzuki link. So where's the race going to be, you might ask? It's going to be a spooky sprint race in Suzuka. 45 minutes, October 30th. Join. You might see me racing. You should do it. You should join. Trust me. Anyways, back to lap 10. We have Dixon Hurst and Rainer Kai battling it out. Dixon Hurst going on the outside. Trying to get the run on Kai. Kai sticking on the inside, trying to defend, and eventually succeeds and gets the upper hand for the next corner. Hurst forced to stay behind. And continue putting the pressure, eventually, potentially making Kai crack. Lap 13, you had Gienna and Kyle Busch battling it out. Gienna trying to get a run on Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch loses it not once, not twice, but 3 times there. enough minor mistakes to allow Gianna to get on right by him, get in front of him. Good move by Gianna. Unfortunate for Kyle Busch here. And Squatch Muncher, it is a new intro. I just forgot to respond to you. I'm so sorry here on Twitch. Lap 13, same lap. You had Zach Manriquez and Kai battling it out. Zach pretty much smelling those exhaust fumes, making sure the Lamborghini is running in tip-top shape, getting the draft, tries to go on the inside, hard on the brakes, and eventually bails out, but Kai goes a little bit too wide. Still not able to capitalize Manriquez there, so good defense and good attempt there. Lap 14, you had Worley and Pierce Hanley battling it out. Worley going on the outside, trying to squeeze him in. And Hanley not giving 2 cents about it. Keeps his line, holds his own, forcing Worley to just stick behind him. Although, you fast forward right here, Worley eventually gets past him because he made a tiny little bit of mistake. Gelson Cruz gets past Hanley because of that mistake. Worley almost loses it, and he is once again being challenged by Cruz. Cruz almost losing it. So many potential wipeouts in this small series of corners, small section of the track. Eventually, Joshua Worley able to defend and keeps his position. Ross O'Connor in lap 17 trying to defend against Albert Tranchisi. Tranchisi pulling all the stops, goes on the inside and manages to secure. What an aggressive move. What time is this race? The race is at 7 Central. Ross O'Connor, for whatever reason, ends up going into the pits here. I have no idea why, by the way. Yeah, races at, well, no, not 7 Central. 7 Pacific Standard Time, so 7 p.m. my time. It'll be at 9 Central, I believe. Joshua Worley here in lap 18 lost it and allowed Gelson Cruz to get his positioning. Unfortunate for Mr. Worley here. And our race 1 winner, Thiago Dinarte. 10 out of 10 racing. Held his own. And pretty much looked like he was winning the race with breeze. Race 2. Hopefully we'll be able to breeze on by this. Race 2, just like race 1, was fairly clean. We're gonna be following our fellow Lamborghini driver here, getting a good sense of the action. A little bit of bumping here and there happening, going around. Everyone trying to get positioning, not trying to lose out on any potential gains or wins early on in the race. So as you'll see there, everyone is still side by side. It is anyone's a race in the beginning. Everyone is very, very close. Love to see it. Not too many, and not too many mistakes in race 2, which is quite nice. At least for lap 1, because usually lap 1 ends up being a bit of carnage everywhere. Lap 3, you had Thiago Dinarte battling it out with Chandler Williams. Williams going a little wide and allows Thiago to get through and closes the door on Cruz there. So good move to prevent any further damage from being done there. And get on the Thiago Denarde to capitalize on that. Lap 3, same lap. Yeah, Jeff Kelly battling it out with Kyle Busch. And he tries to get him and eventually does get him just because Kyle Busch there went a little bit too wide, misses braking marker by a good margin, and easy overtake by Jeff Kelly. Michael Campbell in lap 3 battling it out with Ryan Barkins, the car ahead of him. He makes a move. Michael Campbell makes a move on the inside. Ryan Barkins seizes and gives him enough room, hopefully trying to prevent a crash. But in doing so, he opens the door for 3 of our drivers to get a run on him. That's a total loss of 3 positioning. That's pretty brutal. Albert Tranchisi, I didn't show it because I just forgot to actually record it. But he got pretty much eliminated race 2. He got hit from behind and so now he's working his way up the grid. Here in lap 4, he's trying to make moves, trying to get Kyle Busch to give that position up, let him pass. Kyle Busch doing everything he can to just defend, and eventually Albert does get right past him. In lap 5, we had Albert Tranchisi doing the exact same move that he tried doing to Kyle Busch here, except they bump and touch there, him and Jonathan Kelly. He secures that positioning. We're going to leave it up to you. Do you think that was a little bit cheeky? Good move regardless, though. Lap 6, you had Kyle Busch and Jonathan Kelly battling it out. Kyle Busch trying to do basically the same thing that Albert Tranchisi was doing, and he and Jonathan Kelly go side by side. I have no idea how Kyle Busch managed to hold that line after aggressively touching that curb, but he secures that positioning. Good moves. Top 6, you had Dixon Hurst and Albert Tranchisi battling it out. Tranchisi getting him on the inside, Hurst going on the outside. Good move by Tranchisi. To be honest, that almost looked like Hurst did that on purpose. Knew the faster driver was in front of him or behind him, so he just let him go by without any incidents. Probably the best thing that can happen. You know, no disturbances to overall track and pace. Unlike here in lap 7, where Tranchisi and Cruz, just like the old days and like always, they end up rubbing and touching and getting into contact, forcing Cruz to lose out on 2 positions here and opens up a clusterfuck of a disaster here. We had almost at one point a 4-driver standoff here. Eventually whittles down to 2, and then there was 1. That would have been insane if these drivers continue to battle it out up to Cheetah, the second to final corner. Not a corner you want to battle out going 3 wide. 2 wide is still risky. 3 or 4 wide is a death sentence. Lap 8, Kyle Busch and Jeff Kelly battling it out. Kyle Busch trying to get him on the inside, trying to throw Jeff Kelly off, and eventually secures that positioning, but Jeff Kelly just has the BMW power, the BMW grunt coming out of that corner, and easily reclaims that position back, outruns the fellow Porsche driver here. Lap 8, you had Dixon Hurst and Joshua Worley. Because of the incident where Tranchisi made that one move with Cruz, we had a huge amount or a good portion of just track battles towards the middle section of the track here. Hurst and Worley going at it. In front of him, we had Kelly and Cruz. And Hurst accidentally runs into the back of Jonathan Kelly. We're gonna show the replay here exactly what happened. Him and Worley touch with which allows Hurst, which forces Hurst to get back offline and run into the back of Jonathan Kelly. Unfortunately, just a bad series of events there. So, racing incident, unfortunate. It says lap 8, but this is actually lap 9. Kyle Busch and Jeff Kelly going at it once again. Busch going a little bit too wide, almost loses the positioning to Jeff Kelly, but has enough cornering speed to keep that positioning. Lap 9, Douglas Furnish and Albergina. They're battling it out. Furnish going a little bit too wide. Guiana sees that, makes a move to get right by him. Good move by Guiana. Unfortunate for Furnish here. Lap 10. We had Jeff Kelly and Joshua Worley battling it out. Jeff Kelly on the inside for this next lap. Worley forced to be on the outside. Worley not carrying though. Gets and keeps the momentum to secure the pass on Jeff Kelly. That was a brilliant move and good attempt by Jeff Kelly. If you're just joining us, this is a race recap for last week in Kyalami. You can honestly, you can watch and check it out in here on Twitch or on YouTube. But here in lap 11, we have Dixon Hurst and Jacob Meyer battling it out, and we're gonna see Jacob Meyer and Jonathan Kelly just unfortunately touch there, and no harm and no foul, not too much damage on both drivers, but enough damage was done that they lost a good majority of pace and positions. Jonathan Kelly battling it out with Kyle Busch. Busch has the inside for these next couple laps or corners, and Jonathan Kelly almost keeping up to him, keeping that pace. Gets the slipstream and is pretty much intimidating the heck out of Busch there. At 13, you had Pierce Hanley and Brad Torno duking it out. Hanley going a little bit wild and crazy, but having the pace to almost complete the pass. Runs into the side of Brad Torno. And he didn't lose on the positioning, but could have ended very badly. Good attempt and good defense by Torno. Yeah, good attempt by... well, you know what I mean. Lap 13, Ryan Barkins and Albert Tranchisi battling it out. Albert taking him on the outside, pulling a move that we just saw Worley do. Good driving by Albert Tranchisi. Good attempt on defense by Ryan Barkins there. So many things happened here. In lap 13, we had Jonathan Kelly battling it out with Jacob Myrie. Myrie looking like he saw Kelly, gave him enough space to let him through. And to be honest, if you see him in the rearview mirror, Myrie is keeping up. I'm sure he could have just put up a fight. You know, made him work for it. Nonetheless, good moves all around. Ross O'Connor and Chandler Williams battling it out. Chandler Williams looking to make a move on the inside, but Ross O'Connor almost wipes out. They touch ever so slightly heading into Cheetah. And luckily nothing comes about it. But Ross O'Connor loses out on that position, and Chandler Williams able to gain that position with that one mistake. One very, very small slip up. Lap 15, Brad Torno and Pierce Hanley battling it out. Tarno loses traction. Hanley does not lose traction and has the pull to get right by him. Good move, and unfortunate for Tarno, who eventually just keeps putting a bunch of pressure on Hanley, not giving up that position so easily just because of that one mistake. Lap 16, you had Jonathan Kelly and Douglas Furnish battling it out. Jonathan Kelly pretty much sniffing the exhaust fumes off of Furnish there. Gets him on the inside and makes the move stick. Good driving. I'm pretty sure Douglas Furnish saw him and decided to give him enough space to let him go through. Probably noticed that he was slightly faster, didn't want to impede him. Or maybe potentially just wanted to follow him and copy his lines. Lap 18, we had the top three finishing within a second of each other. Our winner, Thiago Denarde. Congratulations. 2 wins in a row. What a great start to the season. If you'll give me one moment, I will be attempting to quickly get set up here. By set up, meaning connect to the server and everything. What happened to the music? It just skipped twice. Oh my, okay, you know, we're just gonna leave it there. Well, I'll have you guys here. How are you guys doing? We have 18 drivers on grid. I am currently connecting. Off stream. There we go. Currently, we're watching the POV of Ross O'Connor here, who is in P3. Misano, a fairly small track. Small but fun track. If you give me 1 second, I need to check out some audio levels here. Well, tonight we're in Misano. The overall length is 2.62 miles long, or 4.22 kilometers long. Well, we're gonna jump onto Brad Tarno, who's having actually a really good lap here. Currently sitting in P12, he's 3 tenths up on his pace. And we had Justin Fry, who was even higher on that pace, but he just started his lap where we'll jump to him right after Brad finishes his lap here. Coming into the final corner, 6 tenths, 7 tenths up on his pace. That'll push him up a good portion. Probably make him jump all the way to P9 here. P9! Let's go. Good job, Brad. As we see a driver off on the distance going wide. Jumping to Fry here in the BMW. What? Fry was originally in, I believe a Ferrari last season. Don't quote me on that though. But if he was, good to see him in a new vehicle. He just dirtied his lap, unfortunately, but that was a hot lap. He's almost 2 seconds off on his current best. So that would have pushed him up a huge portion. Jumping up to the very tip top, we had Albert Tranchisi, who just completed his lap. He was 3 tenths up on his pace. Stays in P2. Thiago Dinarte here. He's in the pits, but as you'll see here, he's in P1, our fellow silver driver. I don't know if he should be in P1, I'm gonna be honest. I mean P1, or in the silvers. He could be in P1, that's okay, in the silvers. Ryan Barkins in the Miller Lite livery. If you want to sponsor as Miller Lite, please go ahead. You know, we'll take all those other sponsorships you want. You don't drink and drive, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. He is 6 tenths, 7 tenths up on his pace. This is a really good lap. This is gonna push him. What is this? Up to? Oh, he's gonna take Brad's spot potentially. P9. He takes Brad's spot. Brad pushed down to P10. Ryan Barkins gets P9. Good move. Or good driving. Good lap. Good lap. Checking out Joshua Worley here, who's almost completing his lap. We're gonna jump a little bit on board with him as he completes his lap. He's currently 1 tenth up on his pace. Keeps that, loses that 1 tenth, unfortunately, and slightly improves his personal best and remains in P6. Jumping from him, we're gonna give one of the new drivers here on the grid, Dixon Hurst, a little bit of screen time. As he's currently 4 tenths up on his pace. There are 16 corners here while we watch Hurst go around. A bunch of fast and fairly slow and difficult corners. As you'll see here, Hurst makes a mistake, goes a little bit too wide, and pretty much cuts his lap short. Ryan Barkins, 4 tenths up on his pace now. This will push him once again and take yet a spot if he holds on to it. It's going to push him to P7. And it does. Very nicely done. Jumping to Chris Unfair, who's right behind him, coming up and finishing his lap. He's 4 tenths up on his pace. This is going to push I believe he's going to take Brad's spot now. And he does. He's in P10. Brad forced to be sent out of the top 10. Now currently in P11. We're going to check out Christopher Greider here, our fellow Lamborghini driver, as he goes around. He's 4 tenths up on his pace, but it is a dirty lap, unfortunately, so it will not count. Sucks. The one that will count, though, is Zach Manriquez, who is just lost it. as we were on board. Is now currently legged up. Unfortunately, he lost it into the final corner there. A fairly difficult corner. If we'll see if we can capture Ross O'Connor going through it. As this corner here is a very fast, flat out right-hander. Followed by you have to be braking fairly hard in a straight line. Try to lose all your speed and eventually you cut in. Grab the apex, try not to get a lot of wheel spin. Ross O'Connor 1/10 up on his pace, doing a fantastic job here. Potentially could tie it up or take Chandler Williams' spot here. We're gonna see. He does. He's now in P3. Very nice. Unfortunately for him, though, Chandler Williams is 2/10 up on his pace. He is looking to reclaim his P3 spot, his podium positioning here. 1/10 off on his pace. Is he going to be able to hold on to it? Looking like that is a yes. Chandler Williams taking P3. Ross O'Connor forced to take P4. Since I have you here, we can go through the whole animation series. Here we go. We're going to restart this real quick. So Misano, there are 16 overall corners, 2.62 miles long. I don't know if you want me to pronounce these because I can. This is Variante del Barco, Cuerva del Rio. This is all in Spanish. Well, kind of Spanish. We're in Italy. Curva. I don't even know how to say that. I'll be honest. But a bunch of curves, a bunch of corners. 16 corners in total. The ideal setup is high downforce, hard suspension. This is not the how would I say this? High downforce, hard suspension. This is not what everyone would actually be running, but it is a generalized ideal setup spread throughout the whole grid. And there are a couple of key action areas here as we transition to the track experience with my last race here in Misano, where I was leading the pack. This season 2, way back when I was actually a little fletchling and racing alongside with our founders here. Those key action areas are turns 1, 4, 8, 10, 13, and 14. And I'm gonna be honest, the race is going to be starting very soon, so we're probably gonna cut this track experience short, but here is just a sneak peek of what can happen here. Turn 1 can get extremely spicy, and if you see in the background here, drivers are crashing, everyone's getting all into a little cluster, and I pretty much take full advantage and take off. Will that happen in this race, in this series? Who knows? But before we find out, we're gonna go back as our drivers are now in the grids. And we're going to go down the grid. Check out everyone's livery. We have Thiago Denarte in P1. Albert Tranchisi in a new car. P2. Nice livery. Our 3-time champion. You can actually see it there, right under the 1 if you, or right in the 1. The number 1. Chandler Williams, P3. Ross O'Connor, P4. I'm gonna call that the Snow White Porsche. Christopher Greider, P5. Joshua Worley, Mr. What a Save, P6. Ryan Barkett, it's Miller time, dude. P7. Albergiana, P8. Greg Landry, P9. Chris Unfair, P10. Brad Tarno, P11. Zach Manriquez, P12. Dixon Hurst, P13. Our drivers are starting their engines. The race is about to start. Alexander Sabo, P14. Luke and... I need to find out how to say... Oh my god, is he gonna start? Breedlove. P15. Sir. There we go. Go. The race is about to start, dude. Victor Sabo, P16. The race is starting. Michael Cesarian, P17. And Breedlove is in the very end. We're going to jump to the front and see if any carnage happens here. Got drivers getting bunched up, and so far everyone was fairly clean. Chris Unfair having contact with, I'm not sure who started that, but Unfair getting the bad end of that situation. As we turn off the music and go back into the front and check out Tranquisi, who is right behind Thiago Denarte. Well, Denarte, get another win here. Make it 3 wins in a row. We do not know. We are not sure. We're gonna jump throughout the whole grid, seeing as why are my race gaps not showing up? There we go. That was quite weird. We're sticking with Brad Tarno, who is getting pretty close to Ryan Barkins here. A bunch of our drivers are fairly close to each other, so we have no idea where to point the camera to, where exactly to make note of. We should have pointed it back there as Alexander Sabo and Miguel had a little bit of a contact there. Looks like they both got a little bit bruised, a little banged up. Gonna jump to Justin Fry, who he's battling it out with Chris Unfair. Unfair on the outside, Fry on the inside. Still defending and able to almost successfully defend. Unfair getting more speed coming out of those corners and securing that overtake. Keeping that pace of as him and Love get into Brian Love get into a little bit of contact there. Fry winning on that exchange. Love having the speed and power though, able to overtake into the following corner, but he's wipes himself out. Safely rejoins the track. Luckily though, had a lot of overseer there, and unfortunately takes himself out. Ryan Barkins getting really close to Brad Tarno. Zach Manriquez putting the pressure on Ryan Barkins. We are going to jump to Justin Fry and Alexander Sabo, who are having battles of their own. So many battles left and right. Denarte setting up the new fastest lap. We'd love to see it. Victor Sabo going wide. Oof. Bunch of our drivers having difficult times being able to secure overtaking positions. The track not overtake friendly here. You typically have to be a little bit more aggressive than usual, or if you do not want to be aggressive, you just have to plan your route here. As we'll see how Zach Manriquez decides to plan his route. As he's 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths now off Ryan Barkin says Brad Tarno is losing pace. Ryan Barkin's getting even closer to him. Tarno going defensively, but ends up going a little bit too wide. Barkin's winning on that exchange. Secures P9. Very nicely done. Good overtake. Brad Tarno forced to defend against Zach Manriquez in the Porsche. And Tarno overall, yeah, still successfully defend. It looks like he was about to make a little bit of a mistake there. If you're just joining us, this is going to be an hour-long race, so each lap is about a minute and 30, give or take, 35. We're gonna be running around this this track probably for a good 35 to 40 laps, to be honest. I do believe everyone has to pit, and I do believe there is a pit timer of 25 seconds as Tarno goes a little bit wide. Not wide enough for Manriquez to take advantage. We're just gonna stick with these two since this is the closest battle of the race as of this moment. Tarno's gotta be feeling the heat. He doesn't go as defensively this time around. But he is going a little bit too wide, not able to shave the speed enough, and allows Zach Manriquez to get around him. Here in the back in P16, we had Alexander Sabo and Fry battling it out. Sabo 4/10, 2/10 on Fry. Just notice both of them are in BMWs. Both of them are in peak liveries. If I am not mistaken, I do believe these two guys are teammates. Don't quote me on that though. I should be keeping tabs on the team scoring, but yeah. We're gonna let this battle reach a boiling point. We're gonna come back to this and check out Brad Tarno, but we just missed an overtake by Alexander Sabo. Victor Sabo flashing him, trying to throw Alexander off. What happened to Fry here? Losing out on the pace a lot. And that couple corners. Huh. One of our new drivers is getting into a heated battle with... Well, already... well, heated battle already passed. It was Miguel Cesaron here. Cesaron. Miguel. He overtakes Justin Fry. Fry, off screen, went a little bit wide. Miguel securing that position. Victor Sabo having a white flag. Slowing down quite a bit. And Chris Unfair getting into another battle here with Dixon Hurst. As turn 2, you have to eat those corners pretty aggressively, and Unfair aggressively on the throttle from those corners. Makes him oversteer. Loses out on that exchange. By quite a large margin, 8 seconds off that. That is a lot. I have no idea what's going on with these gaps, but Unfair's gap to Dixon Hurst is out of this world. It's jumping from like 3 seconds to 9. So there's that. We're gonna jump to Hurst though because he is trying to get around Brad Tarno. Brad Tarno doing everything he can to not allow that to happen. He has to navigate these next series of corners though that are fairly difficult if you get offline by even the slightest of margins, or even if you miss your braking marker, you'll go off track and lose a lot of pace. Tarno though successfully able to hold on to that. Currently sitting in P11, we're gonna let this battle simmer as we jump around the grid and give some more of our drivers the limelight. We're gonna go to Greg Landry here. He's currently in P8. He's running up on Albert Guiana. Guiana probably not feeling the heat as much since Greg is about roughly a second behind him. But that is enough to oh my, Greg just had an amazing exit coming out of there. 4 tenths off Landry now. Guiana. As Greg is doing an excellent job managing his track presence behind a pretty fast driver here. I should have learned these corner names. I'm gonna be honest. We have Victor with the yellow. We're gonna jump to him, and he's near the end of the track. He looks like he's actually pretty badly damaged. I don't think he'll be able to drive to the pits, unfortunately. Nope. He's... Oh, okay. He is not going to the pits now. He's continuing on. Hopefully it's just aero damage and nothing else. As he goes a little bit wide in turn 1. Not a corner you want to go wide in because it sets you up to have a terrible series of corners following that. Sabo is having a rough time right now. Navigating the track after that small little incident. That yellow flag. We're gonna jump around the grid. The grid. Let's see how our drivers are doing. We have a Whirly here. E5. Trying to get close to Ross O'Connor. Right behind him, we have Christopher Greider. A fair distance away. 3.5-ish seconds. 3 seconds. Within striking distance, if Worley makes a big enough mistake, a lot of our drivers are within striking distance if they make a decent mistake, to be honest. So go back to the front, we have a Ross O'Connor Still keeping up with Chandler Williams, not losing his pace as we see Sabo to the side, heading to the pits. Victor Sabo. Ross O'Connor not losing on pace, but not gaining on pace. He's keeping Chandler Williams within a second and a half. It'll be interesting to see how tire wear, driver fatigue eventually ends up, or how they end up handling all that. Up in the front though, we have Denarte in a P1. Currently has the best lap of the race at a 133.580. Right behind him, Franchizi in the Ferrari. Trying to keep up, trying not to let Denarde run away. And it's within 5 seconds, so one huge mistake by Denarte and Franchizi is securing that spot. Or maybe one excellent pit strategy by Tranchese, and he'll be able to take that P1 spot. Who knows? Jumping throughout the pit, we have a yellow on Love here. Rejoining the track. And luckily, fellow driver sees him and moves out of the way just in time to avoid a collision. We're gonna jump to Chris Unfair here very soon, as he's within a second of Dixon Hurst. Unfair having a bad exchange at the beginning of the race. Currently in P13, potentially going to be fighting his way throughout the whole grid. He's coming up on Dixon Hurst. And Dixon Hurst forced to navigate defending and attacking. We're gonna let this battle boil, because Greg Landry finally has a move almost done on Albert Guiana. Both of them side by side. Guiana giving up on that momentarily. Sees that it's not worth the risk going side by side in these next series of corners. Guiana almost getting Landry back, as Landry ends up losing it just a tad bit coming out of that U-turn. They both head into turn 1. Turn 2, both of them fairly close to the same lines. This is gonna come out to who's gonna outdrive the other, as we just had a position swap happen between Chris Unfair and Dixon Hurst. Before turn 1. Chris Unfair now in P12. Hurst in P13. Unfair is I guess he is the runner. Last season, it was a battle between him and Jonathan Kelly in the Silvers League, the Silvers bracket. And they ended up tying in the very, very final race, the last race of the season. They ended up tying in terms of points. Jonathan Kelly ended up taking the P1 just because he finished one race in P1, so a position higher than Chris Unfair here. But since Jonathan Kelly is now in the golds, I believe Chris is still in the silvers. I am going to just say Chris is our. How would I say this? There's a specific word for this. Our runner-up, our there's a specific word or phrase that I'm trying to get out and remember. Basically, I'm trying to say Chris is our new silvers champion. Not really, but he will be for the remainder of the season. Since Jonathan Kelly graduated into the golds, he is still in the silvers. But he's going to be our reigning silvers champion, I guess. Champion defender. Nonetheless, anyways, I'm rambling on way too long. It'll be interesting to see how Chris does throughout this whole season. And if he does well, we have Ross O'Connor with a yellow. A blue. He slowed down quite a bit. Joshua Worley overtaking him and able to jump up to P4. So Worley is... Oh, whoa. Who was that? That looked like Miguel. Saran, and it was... Wonder how he lost it in such a precarious spot. As we go back to the battle for P11, essentially. Brad Tarno forced to go defensively now, as he now has two drivers, that being Chris Unfair and Dixon Hurst, right on his rear. Chris Unfair smack dab in the middle of both of them. Tarno goes a little bit too wide. Chris looking to take advantage of that. Hurst nowhere to go. Unfair takes the opportunity to secure that overtake, and Brad Tarno now working to control the bleeding on damage control here, not letting Dixon Hurst through. A good move by Chris Unfair. Unfortunate for Brad Tarno here. Chris Unfair now has clean air. This is his opportunity now to take off and potentially catch up to Zach Manriquez. So we'll keep eyes on that, as right behind him we have a battle between Hurst and Tarno. Hurst almost matching the pace of Chris Unfair. Well, to be honest, all these three drivers are matching their paces pretty well. Hurst just being a little bit more consistent. And as I say that, Brad Tarno takes off. We're gonna let this battle simmer as Zach Manriquez has a yellow flag. He went off track. Chris Unfair securing the overtake because of his mistake. And Tarno tries to cut up on the inside. Zach going way too wide. That's gonna hurt him, cost him some speed. Zach losing out on 2 positions there. And Tarno securing P11. Chris Unfair jumping up to the top 10. P10. Good drivings, good moves. I wonder what happened to Zach here. Not you don't typically see Manriquez making a lot of mistakes, or big enough mistakes like that, as he gives Tarno a run for his money, both of them side by side heading into the U-turn. Oh, whoa! Hurst forced to swerve and dodge out of the way as he essentially looked like Brett Tarno was brake checking him. uh, a good avoiding, brilliant driving by Hurst there, avoiding that accident. As Tarno and Zach continue their fight, if they keep this up, this is going to allow Hurst to get even closer and eventually introduce himself into this battle, make it a three-way battle. Hurst trying to navigate around it, not seeing a way through as of yet. Have Tarno on the inside, Zach on the outside. Tarno securing the pass from the inside, now the outside. Hurst might have the drive coming out of that corner to make a move happen on Zach Manriquez. He's now on the inside on the next corner. Zach closing the door, not allowing him through. Brilliant defense by Manriquez here. Hurst for sure is at least getting a little bit irritated about all these events. I believe that's Bretlove behind him though. I'm pretty sure he's thoroughly enjoying this this race as Zach swerves to avoid Brad Tarno as Tarno brakes too hard, or Zach just missed his brake marker, did not want to run into the back of him as Tarno goes wide. Hurst still not able to secure that pass. And now I know he's getting really, really annoyed, or at least I would be. But patience is key here in Misano. Dixon here just needs to plan his route. And keep a fairly clean and consistent lap, not get too much wheel spin. Just like he did coming out of those two corners. Also jump on his helmet cam, get a better POV of how he's doing here. This long sweeping right turn coming up, have to brake in a straight line and have a very, very late apex. Typically a lot later than what you would actually think you need to do. And he does it pretty well here. Keeping within a second of Brad Tarno. As for whatever reason, I just saw a blue flag being waved at Dixon Hurst here. Hurst navigating that corner a lot better than Brad Tarno. Dropped 2/10 just off that one corner alone. Let this battle simmer as we jump to Christopher Greider, who is battling it out with Joshua Worley in P5. I just missed Ross O'Connor overtaking Worley, I believe, because Worley was in P4. Nonetheless, Greider making moves happen and Worley going on defense. And checking out the screen, and we have Thiago Denarde have a white flag, meaning he slowed down for whatever reason. Albert Tranchisi caught up just a fair bit because of that. You're keeping eyes on the gaps, the top right or top left of your screen. I'm gonna let this battle reaches boiling point as we go back to Dixon Hurst, who is trying to once again navigate around Tarno. This time, though, Hurst looks like he's more planted. Never mind, I take it back. Dixon says, if I can't overtake him, I'ma outpit him. As he now enters the pit to clear his pit requirement. Let me actually see. Do we have? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna assume it's the same as last season, which I believe was 25 seconds. You have to take at least a 1 liter of fuel, and tires were optional. Which, if you're having an hour-long race here in Misano, where it's constantly abusing the heck out of your tires, it might be worth it to stay in the pits for those extra 5 seconds. Depending on how much time you can afford to actually waste. Because 5 seconds is a lot, ladies and gentlemen. 5 seconds would allow Albert Tranchisi to get within striking distance of Denarte once again. Let's put it in perspective. What is fun to note, though, is we have Ross O'Connor here. All right, so I have my in-ear monitor, so my earbuds in, and I hear someone talking, and it's not my own voice. Anyway, it is a spooky season here. Did you guys know that Trackalicious and 5FI Racing are partnering together? And we're hosting Spooky Suzuki, where you can race in Suzuka Circuit for 45 minutes, show off your spooky livery, your Halloween livery, and win a contest. I'm just saying, you guys should be joining. What I didn't mention is that Joshua Worley is now in the pits here. He's pulling up. Who else is in the pits? That's Zach? No, Zach is pulling in the pits. That was Alexander Sabo. Oh, that's not Sabo. That is Sabo. He's probably repairing his vehicle and doing some other modifications to get back on the track. Christopher Greider, though, him and Ross O'Connor decided to stay out. Joshua Worley decided to go in and pit early, probably trying to cut in, outpit both these drivers, which would be quite interesting and fun to see if he can actually pull it out, make the move happen, make its pit strategy superior. As Christopher Greider is getting closer and closer to Ross O'Connor. His lap times slowly and steadily improving. Ross O'Connor says, "Screw this, I'm gonna go pit." I'll see you later, Christopher Greider. Also in the pits is Chandler Williams and Thiago Denarte. So for at least now, ladies and gentlemen, your current P1 leader is Albert Tranchisi. everyone now going into the pits. We are past the midway of the race, so that is more or less makes sense. I am very curious on what the pit strategy is going to be here, because if you do decide to pit now, you most likely will want to take tires. Seeing that will probably be the best or the most bang for your buck here. Especially on such a tight and a fairly technical track. Albert Tranchisi now going into the pits. Almost stopping on the pit lane. Probably did not want to get a speeding in the pits penalty there. Hopefully he doesn't. I only see one penalty here, and it was a drive-through. It was already served, so there's that. We have Dixon Hurst back, continuing the battle with Brad Tarno. Dixon Hurst still forced to be behind Tarno. Zach Manriquez right in front of them, so wonder how that's gonna play out. Christopher Greider finally going into the pits. Chandler Williams able to overtake him because of that. Franchizi still in P2. Sorry, P3. Wait. Franchizi in P3. Denarte in P2. Goes a little bit wide there, it looks like. And Albert Guiana in P1. He hasn't completed his pits, and hopefully he knows he has to, at least very, very soon. Maybe he's trying to get as much distance as possible to try to secure as many places as possible after he completes his pits. We're gonna stick with these three. Keep eyes on Ross O'Connor and Joshua Worley. The battle for P5 is going to be happening very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen. Worley nearly within a second. Unfair now in the pits. He was in the pits for a long time compared to the rest of our drivers here. Lost out on 3 positions because of that. Almost 4 positions because of that. And for whatever reason on my screen, he said it was in the pits for 78 seconds total. Basically 1 full lap. Nearly 1 full lap. Brad trying to distract Zach Manriquez here and flashing him. Trying to throw him off his game, get his attention off the track so Brad could get right by him once again. So far, is not looking to be working or taking effect. And I am just noticing those Porsche brake lights are too damn tiny. As Tarno keeps flashing him. He's on the outside. He's within striking distance to make moves happen. Needs to be a little bit careful though, because if her sees an opening, he will 100% stick his head in there and try to shake the grid up. Or shake this battle up. The Porsche going wide. Zach Manriquez in trouble. Not a Brad able to secure the positioning. Oh no. Not yet. It's a drag race to the next corner. Zach still on the outside. Brad has the positioning on the inside. Zach now looking to be losing 2 positioning because of his one mistake. He goes very defensive and holds the line. What a move. What an excellent display of defensive driving. Stopping any further damage from being done and still remaining very offensive in terms of positioning. As Brad makes a big mistake, goes way too wide, loses the positioning back, and gives it back to Zach. And Hurst still not able to do anything about it. Oh, if I were him, I would be cursing these two out. Respectfully. Gonna jump into the POV with Dixon Hurst here, and we're gonna see how he is navigating this. That's who would we have Diego Denarte right behind them, so blue flags are being waved out as these two get into a scuffle. Tarno's taking full advantage of the mayhem happening and just running away. We're gonna stick with these two as I think Zach might be giving the position up to Hurst because of that one incident a couple laps ago where they bumped into each other momentarily. Unfortunately though, they're gonna have to let Tranqueezy by. Oh no, wait, that's Gianna. They're gonna have to let Gianna by very, very soon, as these two are gonna be getting blue flagged because of him. And then following him is going to be Tranqueezy. There's 17 minutes 45 seconds left in the race, and Gianna still hasn't taken his pit, nor has Justin Fry, at least according to my information here on screen. Love is in the pits. And Zach is having a rough time here in Misano. Not able to do anything about Dixon Hurst here. As they head down the back straight, a bunch of fast right-handers, full throttle, no brakes, and then very hard on the brakes. These series of corners, I know a bunch of our drivers make mistakes and get messy, just like how Regina almost made a mistake there and went a little bit wide. We have Tranqueezy was getting close, but he's getting to the pits. why. What's going on? He had a drive-through. Filming is not permitted. Oh shoot! Damn. Oh no. Oh, sorry, Misano. I'm gonna jump out. Check out back again. Uh, there is no shot Albert Tranchisi had a speeding in the pits penalty or something. No, that would be a stop and go. He cut the track a little bit too many times. Drive-through, yeah, he cleared that drive-through penalty. It's showing up on my screen right now. That's Albert Tranchisi. That is huge for Thiago's. Now he pretty much has no one to challenge him. It's looking like he's going to be securing P1. We're gonna jump to Tranchisi regardless because he's fighting up with Ross O'Connor. Moves are happening up and down the grid. Albert Tranchisi flashing his lights on Ross O'Connor, getting a little bit mad. We just missed the pass between Zach Manrikens and Dixon Hurst. We're gonna check them out though, since Albert is now a couple seconds behind. Man, I wonder where this move happened, and I wish we could have seen it. We were following along this. These two do get out fairly closely. It sucks to miss it, but it is what it is. We have two drivers. I don't remember who, but at least two drivers have finally left the race. They decided that enough was enough and called it quits. Tranchisi is battling it out once again with O'Connor, but we have moves going out on screen. I do believe that is Justin Fry. I think he might have a blue flag. He does have a blue flag, so he has to let. Hopefully, he lets Hurst by without any trouble. Well, he did. It almost cost him an off track. But he did it. Going back to the top, this is the battle for P4. We have O'Connor versus Tranchisi. Snow White's gonna be denying Tranchisi. Just kidding. Tranchisi says, give me that position. I want it. A good move on Tranchisi, but to be honest, it looked like Ross O'Connor was managing his grip levels during that small series of corners, so he probably lost a bit of traction. Allowed Tranchisi to seize the opportunity and get right by him. Regardless, though, nice move. P4 for Tranchisi. Unfortunate for O'Connor, who's now in P5. So far, this is the closest battle. We're gonna stick with these two. We're gonna... Wow, what happened to O'Connor there? He... Messed that corner up pretty bad. That Porsche is not liking this track. Looking like. We got Chandler Williams finally catching up to Guyana. The battle for P2 is on. Williams on the inside. Guyana not able to shut the door and defend that positioning. He loses out. He's in P3. Williams secures P2 with 10 minutes and 19 seconds left in the race. I highly doubt that he'll be able to catch up to Thiago Denarte, who is 23 seconds ahead of him. But I can never say never. Something wrong can always happen. I'm just throwing it out there. The race is not over yet. Well, Denarte BRP, our race 2 winner. I've secured him 3 wins because our first race was a dual sprint. It's looking closer and closer, like it's gonna be a yes. Let's stick around to find out. Oh no! We Squatchmonger here on Twitch says that's the end of my season. Or session, I guess is what he means to say. So, he says I'm out of here for this one. Wait, weren't you having a really good race though? I don't remember. I don't recall, but I do remember that you were in P5 before. You were fighting O'Connor, I think. Well, hopefully hopefully you'll be back next race at Dixon Hurst. Let's Zach Manriquez through. What is going on? No, he didn't let Zach Manriquez through. He let Justin Fry through. No, wait. Who is that? No clue. Pink Mustang. Alexander Sabo? Oh, pinkish Mustang. No. That's Greg behind him. I have no clue. But we're jumping to Grider since he's 1 second-ish off Ross O'Connor. We have roughly 7 minutes left in the race. It's been an hour long of these guys going around the track. A handful of times. The track leader, or the race leader, is currently in the 33rd lap. So they've been around a really long time. Oh, he answered here on Twitch. He said he was fine until Ross got bored and wanted to battle me for fun, which ended in destroying my tires and getting track cuts. Could have been 10 seconds ahead of Tranquisi after his drive-through if he hadn't done all that for no reason. Oh, well, I am sorry to hear that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would say the only way around it was for you to like pit early, but that could have ruined your whole pit strategy. Or just let him. He couldn't even like give up pace because then you would have lost up. Yeah, that just sucks, dude. That get him next time. Come back for round 3. It's still early in the season. While we have time here, we're gonna go and give our drivers here some love. A little bit of camera time while the battles heat up. Would you guys like a rated R joke? If you have any little ones in the room, please cover your ears or cover their ears. I will give you 5 seconds. Not really a rated. It is a rated R. You know what? I'm not gonna say it. I'll say it later. Whatever. Dad joke. What milk does Sergio Perez feed his children? This is an easy one. You should know it. Anyone? No one. Formula 1. The cringe be real, dude. Zbrelov is getting fairly close to Victor Sabo. This might be a battle for P14. With 3 minutes left in the race, this can get quite exciting as he's half a sec. He just closed up on that on Victor so quickly, and just like that, he loses it just as quickly. I believe that is Tranquisi flashing him, telling him that please move out of the way. I'm trying to get by. We'll keep eyes on Breadlove here because he has the pace to. We're gonna stay here because there he goes once again, getting really, really close to Victor Sabo. How defensive is Victor Sabo gotta go? I would say go full defensive. Make him work for it. Love is on the outside. Oh, he pretty much walks him. Oh, well, Victor Sabo goes a little bit wide. I'm pretty sure Victor Sabo let him by, or it looks like he did at least here. A good move by Breedlove here. Breedlove. Man, I keep saying Breadlove. I'm putting an A there for whatever. Man, I think I just want bread. I'm hungry, probably. I'm subconsciously hungry. And I'm coming up to 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the race. I think we will have one more lap after this. Unless Denarte decides to slow way down. We're gonna stick with these two. Jump on the POV of Grider here as he tries to battle it out with Ross O'Connor, who is having a really good pace, is getting faster throughout the entire race, and is actually faster than Ross O'Connor. Leaders on the final lap. After Grider and O'Connor completes this lap, they will have one more lap to go. So it is not the end. For Grider. Gianna hasn't pit. At least it hasn't updated for me. Oh, O'Connor almost wipes out. It's showing up the final lap for Grider on his screen, so he's gonna have to push it to make anything happen, anything stick. Force O'Connor to make a mistake. Last lap for these two. Last lap battle. It's all or nothing. Grider is putting an immense amount of pressure on O'Connor. Oh, O'Connor lets him through. Interesting turn of events. Grider now either uses this clean air to get ahead, or O'Connor is gonna take that position back. Potentially looking like someone who's playing with their food or something. O'Connor taking a clean late apex line. He should have the speed. He is 2/10, 1/10. He's on the inside of Grider here. Coming up on the U-turn, he's takes back his position. It does an insane drift and holds on to that position. Fuck, style points right there. Unfortunately for Grider, though. What? Fortunately for Grider there, he secures P5. What happened to O'Connor? Did he have to serve a penalty that I don't know about? What? Dixon hurts? The wall hurts, dude. The wall hurts. Well, who's our last driver to cross the... I believe it's Alexander Sabo here. There's one final driver left who's still in the race. Congratulations to our race winner. Oh, well, Thiago is not here anymore, I believe. No, he's not. Says Zach Manriquez is the last driver who hasn't crossed the finish line. We are just gonna skip that. Well, I guess technically the race is still on because it hasn't finished for one driver. We're pretty much waiting for the timer to run out. I'm gonna go into a driver's chat here to see if anyone wants to join for some last minute interviews. Head on a swivel here says good racing everyone. I agree. Good clean racing. We love to see it. A bunch of exciting fun battles throughout the whole race. Clean battles too. Weird battles really. People letting others by surprise pit stops. Pit penalties. Or penalties galore for some drivers. No, it was an interesting one for sure. We have a Christopher Grider here with us, though. Let me just make sure he is not muted. Hold on.
Good.
Okay, you're not muted. Okay. Yo, what is up, Christopher Grider?
Whew, good. A little sweaty, but good. That's fun.
Bro, how that last lap battle? What was going on?
It's funny. I was behind O'Connor and Worley for a couple laps, and man, the Porsches, they looked really loose. I don't know if they took tires, but I don't think I should have been up there with them. I took tires and was able to catch up to him again. But yeah, it was just, I really wasn't trying to race O'Connor that much, but like I said, his Porsche looked really squirrely. So I kept catching up to him more and more.
He kept having that insane drift. What was that? Turn 13, I believe?
Yeah, the big right, or the last like right-hander.
Yeah, that I kept noticing, and I was waiting, and I didn't know what was going to happen, to be honest, at that point.
Yeah, it's a fun race though.
It was definitely fun. I saw your lap times get dramatically better and better as the race went on. You got more comfortable throughout the whole race, or more comfortable with the car? Or
yeah. Again, I took tires. I think that helped a lot. My second stint, I had way too much fuel. I think I had like 10 laps left. But yeah, I just felt comfortable. Got in a groove. Been practicing a lot with LFM and everything too. You know, Misano, so that's been fun.
Okay, cool. We'd love to see it. It definitely shows though, because you're up with the fast drivers, battling it out and challenging them and everything. So that's quite exciting.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you'd like to shout out or give notice to while we have you here? Anything,
oh gosh.
Anything that you'd like to mention? The floor is yours.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. Thanks for Ono Noodles, Dougie, Furnish for showing me the league. I mean, it's been fun. Been learning a lot. Getting faster and faster. It's been great. And to you, Juan. I've been watching the streams back a lot. Been a lot of fun to hear you commentating and watching the races back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love to hear those hear anything really. I love to hear that you guys are actually enjoying the streams, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
I have Tranqueezy here as well. And before we put him on, I do think that you guys had a little bit of a fight, a momentary fight, if I'm not mistaken. How was it like fighting out Tranqueezy in his new Ferrari?
I think I thought he had damage, which I was like, because he was so much faster. I was trying to follow some of the lines, which was nice, learning from a faster driver. But he seemed to brake better and handle his car better, so.
he's
cool.
he's 3-time season champion for a reason, and I mean, if I do the same thing that you do. If I have him in front of me or near me, I just try to follow and try to copy and just learn.
Yeah.
So
And I
yeah.
also didn't want to run in the back of them, run their race. So
Well, I appreciate that.
yeah,
I ruined it myself with a drive-through. So
yeah. There were a lot of drive-throughs tonight. I think Whirly got one too.
Yeah, so Worley did
upset.
get one. Yeah. He too many track cuts that led through a drive-through penalty, unfortunately.
Well, that's what's surprising. I usually get a lot of track cuts on this track, and I think I got 2, but more towards the end.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know at
Learning the
least.
track limits.
Yeah, that's always a challenge. Trank Easy. So, well, we already know about your track cut. I was gonna mention it and bring it up. How was that battle with O'Connor? It looked like you guys were having a little bit of a cheeky bit of fun there.
yeah, like I think that you guys, or at least Juan, Chris probably doesn't, but me and him used to race in motocross, so it doesn't matter where we're at if we battle. It's always a good bit of fun and tends to get physical. Um, yeah, I don't know if he turned in a little too early, thinking I was going to be on the curb or what, but yeah, just a little bit of contact there in that battle, and is what it is. It was fun for sure. All the battles I had tonight were fun. Again, it sucks with drive-through. It would have been nice for a second, but I'll suffice with a third. I think that's 2/3 in the season so far, so I'm all right with that, and hopefully we can continue to improve and make ground in the championship, because I'm starting to lose some a little bit.
You're not too far off. I mean, 2/3 is pretty good positioning to be at. That's definitely it. Since you had a drive-through, I am very curious, and probably many of our drivers and viewers here would be curious. What were the sections of the track that you had difficult times with, or what sections of the track that you noted that you were getting annoyed in?
I grabbed one in the long right hand. I just understeered a little too far, and tried coming off to not get a track cut. It ended up giving me one. The stewards weren't very happy with me, I guess.
Oof.
A couple of other ones were stupid places that I shouldn't have grabbed them, but I did. One of them was final corner. Just went a little too wide off the curb and grabbed one. And another one was turn 6, I think, after you take that left hand and then you head down the first long straight. I grabbed one there, going a little wide. And then what gave me the drive-through was just a stupid lapse of concentration. Literally turn 4, which is that first tight right-hander.
Yes.
I just took a little bit too much, and all 4 tires dipped just inside of the curb, and well, gave me the drive-through. And I thought I was on the curb, wasn't, and yep, that gave me the drive-through. So I was comfortably in second, and that happened. So it's what it is. It's racing. It's mistakes, and you learn from them and keep going.
Okay, well, I'm quite surprised to hear that. Well, actually, I'm not really surprised. When you have a drive-through, is normally because you're pushing yourself to the limit, so you're gonna mess up everywhere on the track. But in general, I would think that there would be 1 or 2 specific corners that would be throwing you off. But it sounds like
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was definitely over pushing in the beginning to keep Denarte in check.
yeah,
And
you were doing a really good time or a really good job in I would say the first 30-ish minutes of the race, you had him within 5 or less seconds. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
I wanted to keep him there. Just that 5 seconds does end up putting pressure, and somebody's bound to make a mistake, and just over pushing to keep him in sight. I got 3 within the first, I think it was 20 minutes, and then I backed it down to stay within reach of him, and it ended up playing out that I just got a little too comfortable and lapsed a little bit, and yeah,
Oof. Oof,
the
yeah.
the Mustangs were, at least Denarte's, was really difficult to keep with. Very fast in the straights. I would keep him in the corners, but very fast in the straights.
I
Couldn't
believe
keep him there.
I believe this is Cruz on Twitch. I could be wrong. It's a composite. He asks, "What are your thoughts on the Mustang's balance of power?" We have Christopher Greta here, so I'll ask you the same question after Tranqueezy. What are your thoughts on that? On the balance of power on the Mustang? Is it?
I personally think it is down to driver a little bit.
Is it really?
Denarte is definitely a really good driver. So, what I believe is some of these races we should look at the BOP as a base, and if we notice that somebody's starting to walk, we just add a little bit onto their BOP. I've been wanting to bring this up for a little bit, actually. A couple seasons ago, actually, I raced in another league before meeting you guys and being in this league, and they would, based on your finishes and speed and whatnot, is ballast. So for the last 3 seasons, I would have had ballast added on to me probably every round. But I think it's a pretty cool idea. But I am kind of getting a little bit of backwash with this one. So I know I was in the fastest car the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting a little bit of backwash for it. So it's what it is, and I'm not gonna stop fighting, but we're gonna push for it.
It's an interesting thought. It's definitely an interesting thought. I'd be interested in that, but yeah,
well, the reason I'm saying it like that is because if we BOP the Mustang in general, more so than it is, Denarte might be affected, or he might be able to handle it all right and not be affected as much as Williams, who didn't seem to have a grasp on the Mustang here tonight. So if he was also BOP'd heavier, then he would have struggled more. And personally, I think that that's unfair.
Oh, so this is BOPing the actual manufacturer,
the driver,
not the actual driver.
The driver itself.
Okay.
No, no, you were right. I think that BOPing drivers might do a little bit more than just the manufacturer itself, because Denarte can handle the Mustang, it seems, a little bit better than Williams. And if we BOP the Mustang heavier to affect Denarte, it's going to affect Williams to a point where he might not be at his best, if you will. So he won't be able to handle it. Or he might, I don't know. I've only raced with both of these guys twice.
Right.
And you're able to tell a lot. But yeah, I think that might be something to look into, is BOPing individual drivers more past what the BOP is standard. I think that might be something to look at.
Yeah, it's a cool thing to bring it up in the the Discord chat eventually.
I think maybe for next season. This season, I'll admit, is definitely a backwash of it.
You got your work cut out for you, that's for sure. Would you like to give thanks or shout out anyone while I have you here before I ask the same question to Grider and call it a night?
Not really. I just want to say good race to Denarte. He's extremely quick. I think that he had Nos underneath that hood though, so I think that we need to park Ferme's car.
Hey yo, bring that car to the pits.
He seemed to be gaining a lot of speed down the straights, so I think that there was either another gear there or Nos, one of the two. No, I'm just kidding. Probably just less downforce, and the Mustang can handle that.
Yeah.
I want to just thank everybody for coming out and racing, and it's good to see the amount of drivers on the grid we have, and it sucks for a couple of drivers. I saw Josh get frustrated enough that he just retired.
Yeah.
I know myself, I had to drive through that ruined, but it's what it is. Grider did exceptional tonight, and just everybody. Lappers did a really good job tonight, and yeah, just all around, everybody's doing really well here in the league.
Well, cool. Thank you, Trankeezy, for this interview and everything. Grider, if you're still here, thoughts on Mustang's BOP?
That is a great question. I don't have much to speak about it, but I think it speaks volumes if another fast driver is also willing to, like Albert himself is willing to say that they would be okay with getting a little bit of ballast on themselves, you know. I like variety when we have a lot of different cars. I don't like when it's all the fastest car. I think that if we balance the fastest car, I think people would get away from it, and that would be a little upsetting to see the, you know, good cars not out there and people not choosing what they want to race. So
yeah, if we were
individual balance would be interesting.
If we all made the I don't know, the Porsches like the best car, and then the whole grid would be filled with Porsche, and then no, I get it. Yeah, it's totally understandable. I can see that. That's a really good idea. We probably could try to implement that next season, if anything, or if any of our drivers agree for this season. It might be like a surprise toss-up or toss-in or whatever. It's cool. It's cool to note down. Good for at least in next season, but
yeah, like I said, I know that everybody was looking for a reality check for me with 3 seasons in a row
really
winning, but I think it's a pretty good idea, and I thought about it, and I was like, I thought about it last season. I never brought it up, and then with this season, it made me definitely think about it with Denarte and Wells. If we get blessed with Mr. Wells coming back into the races here and there, some of these guys that are just a little bit above myself, Ross, Worley, and another little group, and kind of go through the field and bring everybody just that little bit closer. And I think that the battles would be insane for the racing, and with the other league, it definitely brought everybody very close. We had 6-car battles for most of the race in different little groups, so it was extremely close. You had some of the slower guys mixing it up with the faster guys, because the faster guys were so handicapped, and the slower guys were negative ballast, so they were able to have that little advantage to keep up, and it kind of opened up new avenues as well. Some of these other guys haven't battled with any of us up front, and I think that would bring us all a little bit closer and start battling harder with different people, and it would teach the slower drivers of the grid, and I mean that in all due respect.
Of course.
The slower drivers, it would bring them into the faster groups, and they would learn a thing or two, which if we didn't have the BOP, or we had normal BOP and they weren't up with some of these guys, they won't learn some new things and help get better.
It would definitely introduce a new experience in terms of battling. You are right. No, yeah, I think we should probably introduce that sometime in the future. It'll definitely be exciting to actually see you battle it out with someone who is generally slower throughout the grid. Not only for us, but it'll be exciting for them because they can actually experience what a high league, I guess, is a high tier driver. I don't even know how to phrase that without sounding disrespectful or cocky, but someone who is faster than you, better than you, getting to experience battling with them in an even playing field, so they can't outpace you. Well, if they can, if you make a mistake, but I mean, you would have to.
Of course, they'll still be able to outpace. There always will be that little bit of an advantage, but with the individual BOP, it will bring that advantage down just that little bit.
Yeah.
And it would definitely bring Dinarte back just that little bit. Whereas tonight, maybe it might have been me and him battling it out. And then like Williams might have also been into that group as well, because he was a little bit slower than myself and Dinarte. And I think that it would have brought that grouping a little bit closer. And just overall given a little bit more. I'm also saying that because most of the race I was in no man's land, just sitting in between Dinarte and Williams, so I was kind of looking for a battle, and the drive-through ended up giving me something. But no, I think it is a good idea, and people are gonna be like, oh, once he starts losing, he's bringing this up. Nah, it's been on my mind, and in a way, this season has shown me, like last season, where I would be able to run a little bit. It showed me what Josh Worley's told me. He's like, we've been trying to BOP you for a little bit. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should bring it up. But I'm willing to take it on the chin and lose a title straight up. So if at the end of the season it's not me on top, then I'll take that as a redemption for 5FI.
All right, well, hell yeah, that's a good way to end on that note. Thank you to Trankeezy and to Kreider here for having this interview. Thank you for sticking by, and to everyone else on the stream, if you're still here, thank you for sticking by with us. It's been a long time.
You Juan, thanks for streaming.
Yeah, thanks Juan.
Let me see if I can just transition smoothly, even though it's probably going to be absolutely horrible.
You guys gonna stick around for a little bit just after the stream?
Yeah. I mean, sure. I'll mute myself right now, but so I don't bother you guys and everything. And I'll mute you guys so you guys can talk away right now. All right. Okay. So Good interviews. Okay, I was getting distracted by their talking. I'll be honest. They were talking, but I couldn't. Anyway. Ooh, on the go. Thank you, Carnage. What's up, Twisted Packet? Yo. Well, since I have you guys here, we might as well go over a little bit of housekeeping here. If you'd like to join us, first follow us on Discord or join us on Discord. You can ask questions and talk trash if you want to, or do what Tranqueezy here did and give us a good idea, a BOP, not to the cars, but to the cars too, but specifically to the driver. That would be an interesting thing to implement. So I would actually be quite interested in that, to seeing how it actually affects truck battles. Anyways, SimGrid, click on SimGrid. We are on season 8 of the Founders League. From here, you register, you fill, it's a big green button on the top right. From here, you select a class. I'm gold since I'm a gold class driver, even though I haven't driven in a while, so I'm probably going to be absolutely trash. You pick the car that you want, your car number. If you have a team, select one. If not, then leave it blank or just leave it alone. Doesn't matter. Select all or none of the reminders. Agree and register away. I will not be doing it, but before I leave, we are going to see what race are we in. And next week, we are in Nürburgring. It's going to be a dual sprint. Too bad it's not Nürburgring GP, That would have been quite fun to see. Before I leave as well, we go away, we're gonna here we go. Spooky Suzuki with Track Delicious and 5fi-racing.com. Go ahead and join away. And just to prove to you guys that I will do it, I will be registering. I just don't necessarily know what car I'm gonna be driving. I would do the trusty old Lamborghini Huracan, but I kind of want to challenge myself, and I also want to do the BMW like I have before. Honestly, I'm gonna pick something else, and I'm gonna have a livery for it. And you should come and join, and if not join, at least watch the stream when it goes live. Now, vote for who's gonna win. There is a livery contest, so vote for who's gonna win. You don't have to vote for me, I know you'd want to, but I don't want to skew the votes that way. I've been Twisted Packet here says that I've been wanting to BOP Albert for the last 2 seasons. Haven't we all? Just drop a massive boat anchor in his trunk. We should just limit the amount of fuel he can carry. I think that would help out a lot more too. He also says I'm gonna drive the Lambo, and Carnage also says if you don't drive the Lambo, you're gonna lose your sponsorship. I guess I'm driving the Lambo, dudes. Join the Trackalicious, see what I'm driving. I'm not gonna spoil it. Maybe I am driving the Lambo and I'm just throwing you guys off. Regardless though, thank you for sticking by this long. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Don't know if it's night out where you guys are at or if it's daytime, but have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next week in Nürburgring. That'll be a doozy to try to capture all the potential carnage heading into turn 1. I'll see you guys next time. I haven't updated the outro. The outro. So ignore the season 7. You should still join us to get in on the action. That is still 100% true, bro. Nothing's changed about that. Did you join us? Come on, dude, you should. 100% is gonna be fun. You can't. You try to prove me wrong. Click on Discord. Join in. What are you waiting for? Season 8 active, not season 7. Anyway, have a good night. I'm gonna see if, since I have 8 of you here with me, I'm gonna see if I can try and raid somebody. You know, I don't know who, but you know, I will try. Probably have to go on Twitch. Misano. Or does anyone have anyone to raid? Or else I'm just gonna randomly raid one viewer on a Seto course. Do I remember how to actually raid? I do, okay. We're gonna see if this works. I don't know if it's gonna work. Randomly raid this one. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good night, or good day. Good rest of your day.